All right. Well, last video we talked about similar triangles. Today we're going to talk about congruent triangles, which means they're actually equal. Like the whole thing is equal, one piece is equal to the other piece, and they are the same size and same shape on both triangles. Okay. So the way we're going to do that today is we're going to talk about some labeling, and then we're going to talk about figuring it out. So this says that corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. It just means that if the two triangles are congruent, then all their parts are also congruent. So corresponding angles mean angles that are congruent. So if you're looking at these two triangles, look at the way they are shaped, look at the way they look. We can say that angle D and angle C are congruent. We can also say that angle A and angle F are congruent. We can lastly say that angle B and angle E are congruent. And you really should do more than one swoop in each of these. Sorry, I was doing them in different colors, so I wasn't even thinking about that part. So you should do one swoop in the ones that are the same, two swoops in the ones that are the same, and three swoops in the ones that are the same. Corresponding sides. And now sides are going to be marked with tick marks. We used the swoops before with the angles, so you've already seen those. But we need to mark the sides that are also congruent. Well, the burgundy to the purple, so DF is going to be congruent to CA. And when you do that to show that they're sides, you want to put lines over top of them, and you want to make sure you go in the same order. So we went to burgundy to purple, so we got to go burgundy to purple. So D to F and C to A. All right, then look at the next one. Let's do AB, and we're going to mark that with two tick marks, and that's the purple to the green, and then FE, and that's also purple to green. So FE is congruent to AB, lines over both of those. And last but not least, we are going to do, let's do one more in purple. We have our last line from the green to the burgundy. So it's going to be ED is congruent to BC. And that we're going to mark with three tick marks. And you mark sides with tick marks and angles with swoops. Hopefully this is making sense to you. I know those kind of sound like made up things, but that's kind of what they are. Like tick marks, like tally marks, the lines in the sides that are congruent, and the little partial circles in the angles that are congruent. So this says mark and name the corresponding angles and corresponding sides of each pair of triangles. So A is kind of easy. It's just like the one we just did. So we're going to go ahead and mark angle C and angle F congruent. Angle, I'll do all the angles in purple. Angle A and angle D congruent. And angle B and angle E congruent. Now we got to do the sides. So we're going to do from 1 to 2, so C to A and F to D. So CA is congruent to FD. And AB, so 2 to 3 to DE. And last but not least, CB is congruent to FE. All right. Number 2, though, is a little harder because it doesn't have a triangle drawn. So the way we want to actually look at that is you want to look at the order that they're in, because the order they're in matches up. Like, so if I needed to write a triangle congruent statement for number 1, I would write triangle CAB is congruent to triangle FDE. You go in the same order. So I went from 1 to 2 to 3, 1 to 2 to 3 on each triangle. So that means that angle D is congruent to angle C because they both come first. Angle O is congruent to angle A. Angle G, oof, that was a terrible G, is congruent to angle T. Same thing with the sides. So I can say DO is congruent to CA. So DO is congruent to CA. And OG is congruent to AT. And DG is congruent to CT. Just got to make sure you keep that order consistent. That is the important thing here. So just like we had 3 ways to prove that they were similar, we have 5 ways to prove that they're congruent, and they are very similar. Like this first one that you see is still side, side, side. Which what this means is that all 3 sides are congruent. So I'm going to draw 2 triangles. They're going to be about, okay, yeah, we're going to try that again. So I'm going to draw 2 triangles, and they're going to look more like triangles and not like, I don't know what the heck I just drew. Triangles that look congruent and will actually be congruent ish, but we're going to do them by markings. So we want to mark which sides are congruent. So we have a set here and a set here, a set here and a set here, and a set here and a set here. So you have to have all 3 sets of sides marked, and they do have to have all the different tick marks. So because we have 3 sets of congruent sides, therefore these triangles are congruent. All right, our next possible way to do this is side, angle, side. And just like before, the angle has to be between the 2 sides. So we'll have 2 sides that are congruent, and the angle between them is also congruent. So when we have our 2 triangles that we're going to draw, this time I'll draw them a little bit. They'll basically just be facing the same way. So if I have this set of sides marked, and I also have this set of sides marked, I need to mark the angle, or I need to have the angle in between those 2 sides. It needs to basically be sandwiched in the middle of the 2 sides. So the way that the word angle here is sandwiched between the 2 words of sides, that angle needs to be sandwiched between the 2 sides to be able to use side, angle, side to show that it is congruent. Our next option is angle, side, angle, which is very similar to the one before, but it's actually backwards from the way it was before. So we need to have 2 angles congruent, and the side between them also congruent. So basically this needs to be the side is in the middle of the sandwich this time, instead of the angles being in the middle of the sandwich this time. So let's draw our pictures. So I have my 2 triangles. So I'm going to mark my 2 sets of angles, mark the 2 at the top, 2 on the bottom right, and then I'm going to mark the side in between the 2 of them. This time it's a side sandwich. The angles are the bread and the side is the middle. So you have to have those 2 angles marked and then the side in between them for it to be a angle, side, angle. Reason for it to be congruent. All right, our next option is angle, angle, side. So the way that this one is different is we have 2 angles that are congruent, and we have a side that is not between them. Side not between is congruent. So the side it can't be the side that is actually in the middle of them. It needs to be one of the other sides, and that's basically why we use this one instead of using the angle, side, angle. So let's look at that. Draw that out for you. So then if I have these 2 angles, the bottom lefts and the bottom rights, I would need to mark one of the sides that is not between those 2 angles. Doesn't matter which one it is. It can be this one over here on the left, or it also could have been easily the other one on the right. So this is going to be angle, angle, side, because if you read it in order, like starting here, this is an angle, this is an angle, this is a side. Angle, angle, side. You always want to kind of read it in order. That's the way it works. That's the way it works best. And that is the way that it makes the most sense when looking at these types of congruent statements. Okay, last but not least, and you may be thinking this one's a typo because those are not letters you have seen before, but this is actually called hypotenuse leg. You can only use it on right triangles, only available for right triangles. Now, that does not mean that every time you see a right triangle, you just say hypotenuse leg. No, 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 don't do it. Okay, so hypotenuse leg, let me draw it out for you and then I'll write the definitions. I really got to get better at drawing these triangles. I am freaking terrible. I mean, I guess I'm also terrible at drawing them in class, but in class I'm sitting in front of all of you, not just here by myself. So it's not that big of a deal. Y'all just giggle at my terrible drawing skills and we move on with life. Here I just don't like it. Okay. So remember the hypotenuse is always the side across from the right angle. So we can go ahead and mark those. The legs are the sides that are touching the right angle. So either one of these legs could be marked. I'm going to mark the one on the bottom just because. So it means that the hypotenuse is congruent and one of the legs across the middle. Oh, this must be the one of the legs is also congruent. So what we need to look at here also, it is only available for right triangles. Please, please, please don't try to use this for anything else because you don't have a hypotenuse with anything but a right triangle. So if you notice, this is actually angle, side, side, which is a bad word, and we don't write bad words on our math paper. So that is why this has a special name. That's why it's called hypotenuse leg and why it's only available for right triangles, because you can't use angle, side, side normally. Angle, side, side actually ends up creating a multitude of problems that you will learn about in other math classes. I actually teach in my AFM class, but you can't use angle side side because it has the possibility of making more than one triangle, and then it's hot mess express, and we don't like to deal with it. And you better not write cuss words on my papers, not allowed. So that is why we don't use that. That is why we call this hypotenuse leg, and it is only available for right triangles. Okay, so now we have some practice problems that have markings on them already. So we want to say, are they congruent or are they not? And if they are, we need to finish the triangle statement that tells us the congruent triangles. And remember, order does matter with these. So very first thing we want to look at is what do we have? Okay, we have a set of sides. Then we have a set of angles. Then we have a set of sides. So that is side, angle, side. And the reason I went in that order, I go from one tick mark to one swoop to two tick marks. That's I kind of like to go in order from smallest to biggest. So that makes sense that way. I'm erasing it so we can see the letters a little bit better because I didn't write all over the daggum place. And now we need to look at our triangle letters. So B to C to A, same thing, E to F to D. And there we go. It is congruent. Good. All right, let's look at the next one. So we don't have any angles marked. So we know so your options are always, and I guess I should write these up here. Side, 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 angle, side, angle, 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 side, and hypotenuse leg. Those are all four of your answers every time. So here we have one set of sides, a second set of sides, and a third set of sides. So S, S, S. So then A to C to B, D to F, T. There we go. All right, let's look at number 3. Now, it is a right triangle. That does not automatically mean hypotenuse leg. So let's look at what we do have. All right, we have a set of sides. If this is a right angle at BCA right here, if this is a right angle, this is also a right angle, and all right angles are congruent. So we have a set of angles. Now, we don't have another set of sides, but do you notice that BC is in both triangles? Well, since it's in both triangles and it's the same thing, we can actually mark it congruent as well. So we do have side, angle, side. So let's look here at our letters. So C to A to B. So C to D to B. All right, let's look at number 4. So we have a set of angles. We have a set of sides. I always just start on whatever's the most outside. Then we have a set of angles. Hey, we got angle, side, angle. Look at us go. All right. So then let's look at our lettering. B, A, C, E, D, F. You always want to start at the same place so they look the same. All right, let's look at number 5. At first, it looks like we don't have any angles marked, so we can't really add in angles marked unless you have like vertical angles or something. But you also can see that we have OE in both of these, so we can actually mark that as congruent as well. So then we have a set of sides, another set of sides, and a third set of sides. So we can say side, side, side. So then OLE is congruent to OVE. By side, side, side. Yay! All right, number 6. The very first thing you can notice is that you have this side in between the two. We got to be very careful about how I circle the sides, the angles here, because they are kind of overlapping. So I have a set of angles. I have a side in both of them, and then I have another set of angles. So I have angle, side, angle. And now we have that ELG is congruent. And now this is where it gets complex. So it went from one swoop to two to none. So then you got to do the same thing over here. L to E to U. It's always one that throws people off a little bit. Make sure you're paying attention to the swoops and stuff if that is not possible to just look at the direction that it goes in. All right, these are our last two before actual class, and we are going to do some more practice in there. Hopefully this will help you understand a little bit more of what's going on. So let's look at number 7. So we have two sets of angles marked, but we don't have any sides. So we have a set of angles here. We have a set of angles here. And we can actually mark that third set of angles in the very middle because they're vertical angles, but angle, angle, angle isn't an option. So these are not congruent. Because angle, angle, angle is not an option because that makes similar triangles. Because I can have the same angles here and the same angles here, and they're not congruent. They are the same angles, but they are not congruent because one's way, way bigger than the other one. All right, let's look at the last one, number 8. So I want to start with the single check mark because it's on the outside. So 1, so I have a set of sides. Then I have a set of angles. And last but not least, I have a set of sides. So the reason is side, angle, side. And you also, well, no, you can't call this hypotenuse leg because it doesn't have the right triangle. It doesn't have the right square marked. So ABE is congruent to DCE. Oh. And that's it. Hopefully this makes sense to you. If you do have any other questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And make sure that you come to class and we'll do some more practice there. Have a good day, guys.